Hey everyone, welcome to this weekend Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for June 21st to the 23rd of 2019. All right, so we have some shifts with the moon. We have the moon in Capricorn still on Friday, which was the theme on Thursday. So on Friday, great time for cultivating our sort of grounded side in terms of discipline, patience, persistence, really incorporating that long-term grounded perspective with things, and probably just noticing themes today around responsibilities and such. So with this, the moon is going to be shifting into Aquarius on Saturday and Sunday. So those 2 days, likely themes around expressing our unique individuality, maybe about thinking about the future and the collective or group-related matters. And it's just really good to get into that progressive, forward-thinking, sort of intuitive element of our personality with that. So this weekend we have Neptune going retrograde at the beginning of the weekend around Friday. Nothing major with this, but we may notice a bit of a pause with some of the more external lessons or experiences we've been having regarding spirituality or having to trust and let go. Get a bit of a pause with some of this stuff. And then on Sunday, Venus is going to be opposite up to Jupiter. And so there could be maybe some buoyancy about relations or maybe about values that we can find some healthy balance with and enjoy in constructive ways. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for this weekend. We're going to look at this for all 3 days of the weekend here, starting first with Friday with the moon in grounded Capricorn, then shifting into progressive Aquarius for Saturday and Sunday. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below for more information on this system. It is different from mainstream astrology, and it does change the signs. So do check out that link for more information on true sidereal astrology. All right, so let's take a look here for first Friday for the weekend. The moon's still in grounded Capricorn from Thursday as well. Capricorn, the sea goat, is all about taking things one step at a time, having that grounded perspective about the long term, and doing things that require responsibility, discipline, and patience. And so really good to cultivate this side of ourselves, and we may just notice themes around this stuff with the moon here. So along with this on Friday, this is when Neptune is going to go retrograde. It's not a personal planet, so we usually don't feel it very personally or may not notice anything in our external environment per se. But as a very subtle energy going into the next 6 months with this, with Neptune retrograde, we do get a bit of a pause with some of the external experiences regarding faith or trust or having to let go. What I'll do is down below in the comment section, I'll put which house Neptune is going retrograde for you, so you can see which area of life is going to get a bit of this pause regarding these lessons or experiences around needing to let go. And that'll give you a little bit more of a tangible understanding of where this is for you. So for the next 6 months, a bit of a pause with this stuff. We could even notice maybe over the weekend, maybe going into next week, a bit of a fog or haze lifting up regarding the area. We can then see it a little bit more clearly, at least in the external sense. And then we go into a more internalization process. So retrogrades are about the internalization, and in this case with Neptune, dealing with reintegrating with our spiritual self within, reintegrating and trusting our intuition, maybe reevaluating or reworking things that deal with creativity or again spirituality or psychology, these kinds of things. Just good to go through this reworking process for about the next 6 months. Again, internalizing it and getting a bit of a break from the external experiences regarding these things. So there's also a possibility that we may notice just a bit of a pause with these matters on Friday. So anything involving letting go or being present or spirituality, maybe just good to pause with it on Friday and just see kind of what is shifting and changing with that. All right, so with this, as we get into Saturday, the moon will then shift into progressive Aquarius, and this will be a great time of cultivating the side of ourselves that does have that need for individuality and expressing our uniqueness, and from that, maybe contributing to things larger than ourselves. Could be a good time for thinking about the future, just being aware of the future and what our future ideals are, both for the world and the collective, but maybe also for our communities, maybe for ourselves, just our own future aspirations, and getting into this disruptive side of ourselves. How can we challenge some of these status quos in the external life and also our own status quos to induce change, right? To cultivate some of these ideals and a bit of this progressive energy. So really good to do that. And again, we'll probably just notice some themes around that shifting Saturday and Sunday. So once we get into Sunday with that moon still in Aquarius, we do have Venus opposite up to Jupiter. So this is actually quite easy of an energy to work with, but it does require a bit of balance. Venus, the planet of our relations and enjoyments of life, opposite Jupiter, which is about buoyancy and expansion. So with the opposition, there might be a bit of maybe exuberance or over-inspiration or overindulgence, perhaps, when it comes to relationship matters, maybe when it comes to the enjoyments of life, and maybe about the material life in general. So just good to be aware of this, maybe natural collective tendency for imbalance, but as we become conscious of it, it then becomes very balanced. So how can we enjoy our relationships, our enjoyments of life, the material life, in a way that is conscious, it is balanced, it is healthy, and at the same time, enjoying these things with that awareness. So really good to do that. And in this way, this could actually be a great time of a high point of seeing what we can be grateful for. You know, what can we be grateful for in our relationships? What can we be grateful for in the material realm and connecting to nature and these kinds of things? Makes it an excellent aspect for these types of matters. All right, and then very slightly going into Monday, because Jupiter is squaring Neptune in the sky, Venus will start to square up to Neptune. And so as the later part of Sunday unfolds, we may feel a little bit of the more uncertainty perhaps, or dreamy energy regarding our relations and values, regarding these Venusian things, maybe a bit unsure, maybe dreamy. So it is good to constructively work on this, particularly on Monday, which is doing things like trusting our intuition, letting go of what is outside of our control so we can enjoy the present moment with these things. In fact, it makes it really good for enjoying the present moment with these things. And just being as clear as we can, understanding that we may be under a bit of an influence with this aspect regarding, our dealings with others and regarding our values and enjoyments. And so being as clear as we can, recognizing we have a bit of this influence and finding that constructive way of incorporating that receptive and intuitive, and grounded, idealistic side of ourself when it comes to our relations and enjoyments in life. All right, but I'll talk a little bit more on that once we get to Monday. All right, everyone, so that's the weekend in a nutshell. Neptune retrograde, great time for now re-evaluation or re-internalization when it comes to the spiritual matters of life, and a bit of pause with those sort of lessons and experiences on the external. On Friday, the moon in grounded Capricorn gives us that opportunity here to ground and have discipline and patience with matters. Saturday, Sunday, progressive Aquarius, innovative, forward-thinking, future-thinking, really good to get into that side of ourselves. And on Sunday, just finding a bit of balance with the relations and enjoyments of life and being grateful for those things on that level. All right, so everyone, have a fantastic weekend. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you all on Monday for the daily forecast. Take care.